It's finally time to talk about the topic that nobody wants to talk about. And that's how much money a doctor really makes in Germany. So from my past videos, I've got a lot of comments regarding my salary, the salary from my colleagues, and there's a lot of confusion and questions regarding this topic. So I decided to make a video. But before we start with the video, just a small announcement. I decided to make a community for all the people watching these videos in order for us to interact and actually share knowledge and information regarding this journey in Germany. I realized that a lot of people in the comments have a lot of questions, and I thought it would be much smarter to have all of these people in one place where we can talk without going back and forth in comments. So for this reason, I decided to make a Discord community, and I'm gonna put the link in the description below. You can go on, join, and we can start interacting on a much faster and better level. Also, a lot of people that are watching the videos are not subscribed. So if you're new to the channel, feel free to go on and subscribe. Now let's go straight to the video. Now, money in Germany and salary is a very taboo topic. Not a lot of people want to talk about it. Some people are not open to talk about it. But I feel like if someone wants to come here and work as a doctor, besides the high-end level of education and the top-end healthcare system in Germany, I feel like also money plays a big role for this decision. So in this video, we're going to talk about three things: how much a resident doctor in Germany is getting paid, what are the big factors that are influencing one's salary, and last but not least, how I'm spending my money here in Germany. So if you're not very familiar with the whole system here for doctors working in hospitals, there's a very standardized public tariff agreement. So depending on the tariff you're working on, you have a very big variety for your salary. Now, as far as I know, there are 8 different tariffs, but in reality, there are just 8 different subcategories. The 3 main categories are municipal hospitals, university hospitals, and private hospitals. Now, depending on the tariff, you are gonna have a specific, let's say, beginning salary. And as you go on with your training, your salary is gonna adjust accordingly, which means that depending on the tariff, you're gonna have a different amount of salary on the first year and on your 5th year. As far as I know, university hospitals at the moment have the lowest amount of salaries for physicians that are in the beginning stages of their specialty training, but as they go on further with the training and on the last year, they have the highest amount of salary. So I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna post a few pictures on the screen right now to showcase the 3 main tariffs that are now in place as of 2025. And as you can see, even from like the first year of the specialty training, there is a big difference between the municipal hospitals, the university hospitals, and the private hospitals. If you pay close attention to the last year of the specialty training, you're going to see that there's also a big difference between the salaries. The general rule of thumb is that the salaries increase annually as your experience grows. This means that the more of an expert you are in the field, the more you're going to get paid. Now, even though you see all of these numbers on the screen, and even though they seem very attractive, there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. So to begin with, this is the main salary you're going to receive. So when you sign your contract, which is going to be, for example, 40 or 42 hours, maybe even more, this is the standardized payment you're going to receive if you work full-time at a hospital. So this is not the amount of money you're going to see in your bank account every month. And there are a lot of things that are going to be influencing this number. So even though this amount seems very attractive, there is also the case where you can actually substantially increase it if you do more overtime, if you do a lot of night shifts, and so on and so forth. Now, there are, let's say, differences in the private field of medicine. I don't have any knowledge regarding this topic because I haven't worked in any private medical practice or any private clinic, but I feel like that there are different tariffs and also different contracts being made in said clinics. So to recap, depending on the hospital you're working, if you decide to work full-time and have a 100% contract on this said hospital, you're going to receive a specific amount of money every month. Depending on the night shifts you're going to be doing and the overtime you have, you're going to have an extra influx of money going into your salary. And last but not least, I'm not sure exactly how this works in private practices. If anyone has any idea, feel free to comment because I find this very interesting as well. Now, there are a lot of other things that come into play and some things that non people are actually considering, in my opinion. Depending on the city you're working and depending on the taxes you're supposed to pay, depending on your health insurance, depending on so many different factors, depending on how you want to set up your pension fund, this will not be the amount of money you're going to be receiving at the end of every month. What I mean by that is, for example, if you have kids and a wife, you're gonna be into a different, let's say, tax bracket, and you're gonna be receiving a different amount of money. So for example, if you're also paying third taxes, you're gonna be making less money. Then there's like the whole topic regarding the pension fund. So amount of the taxes you pay are also gonna be moved into a pension fund, and after you stop working, let's say once you're 60 or 70 years old, you're gonna be getting a monthly compensation, let's say, for all of the taxes and work you've put in your entire life. There are three ways you can approach this. You can basically pay every month some part of your money to the German pension insurance, or since you're gonna be registered here as a medical doctor, you have the opportunity as well to start paying this pension insurance basically to the medical association here in Germany. I still haven't truly understood the entire concept of this, but basically once you start paying money to the medical association in form of like your pension insurance, you can decide how much money you're gonna be giving them basically every month and how you want this money to be allocated in order for you to basically increase your pension fund once you go into retirement. I received, let's say, a small booklet which talked about all of these things. I found it's a bit complicated. I didn't go through all of it properly. But as far as I remember, you can basically decide to spend some money on stocks or dividends, or I think also real estate. I'm not 100% sure. And basically the higher the money you give them, the bigger your pension fund is going to be after you go into retirement. And then there's the last choice you can take, where you can also pay both of them, which means that you're going to have less money in your bank account every month, but after you stop working and after you go into retirement, you're going to have a much larger, let's say, pension fund. Now the basic concept is that without doing any night shifts, without doing any overtime, an average range of money you can be making as a first-year resident before taxes, it's around 5,300 and 5,600 euros a month. But like I said before, this is not the amount of money you will be seeing in your bank account every month. It's going to be before taxes, and depending on your choices and how you decide to manage your finances, you're going to have a different net salary, let's say. But yeah, that's the whole concept regarding the salary part here in Germany. I just want to end this video with how I manage my money every month and how I spend my money every month. Just to give you an example of how someone can manage their money. So I'm basically following a 50-30-20 rule, which means that 50% of my net income is going to go on fixed expenses, 20% is going to go to investments, and 30% is going to go to my wants and any savings I can make. What this means is that basically whenever I get my money every end of the month, I usually pay my rent. I leave some money on the side for my grocery shopping, for the bills I have to pay, my subscriptions, and so on and so forth. And then immediately I invest this 20% of my monthly income to S&P 500. Now the remaining 30%, I usually use it to go around with like my friends, have fun, eat a nice dinner. I really don't think much of it, to be honest. If there's any money left after the end of the month, it's good. I'm going to put it into a savings account. If not, everything is fine. I really focus mostly on this part of my life on investing and not so much on saving, because I feel like it's more of a habit that needs to be evolved through time in order to actually maximize, let's say, the return of investment. I don't end up spending all of my money. I don't have any need to like splurge on something. The money I'm spending mostly at this point of my life is usually on books and for my own self, meaning for nice experiences, maybe any trip, to go out, treat my friends, have fun, and so on and so forth. And yeah, that was it. I hope you found this video interesting. If you're not watching this video to the end, thank you so much for 500 subscribers, and thank you so much for watching my videos and interacting with my content. Be sure to join the community, and you can interact directly with me, and if this goes well, also with other like-minded people. Yeah, and that was it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, we're gonna see each other in the next video. Bye.